Hi, everyone. I'm Professor Esther Hester, and this is my nephew, Lester. Today, we are at a botanical garden. A botanical garden is a special kind of garden that has many different kinds of plants. How about we take a look around and decide which plant we want to plant in your backyard, Lester?
Okay, that sounds great.
These plants come from all over the world, but in here, we aren't seeing them in their natural habitats.
What?
Habitat, a place in nature where plants and animals usually live, is called a habitat. For example, some plants are usually found in deserts. Other plants are mainly found in forests, and some plants are found only high up in the mountains. Those are all habitats.
My habitat is at my mom and dad's house.
It sure is, Lester. Plants in one habitat often look quite different from plants that live in a different habitat, but plants have special parts that help them survive where they live, like this one. Do you know what kind of plant this is?
I sure do. It's a cactus. I saw a lot of them when we were on vacation in Arizona.
That's right, Lester. This is a saguaro cactus. Notice how it doesn't have any leaves? That's because it has to survive in a desert where there is very little water. If it had leaves, the water inside the cactus could escape through the leaves into the hot air, and it would dry up.
Kind of like when I sweat when I play baseball.
Exactly! So instead of leaves, the cactus has a tough skin that keeps the water inside. It also has these sharp spines to keep animals from chewing holes in its skin. All of these things help the cactus stay alive in the desert. But if you think that's interesting, wait till you see this. This plant is called a Venus flytrap, and it's one of the few plants that actually eats its food.
Wow, that plant eats food just like you and me?
It sure does. The Venus flytrap grows in places where the soil doesn't have all of the nutrients it needs to survive. So the Venus flytrap can capture and eat insects.
That looks like the palm trees I see at the beach.
That's right. Some kinds of palm trees, like this one, are usually found near water. See those coconuts? They're actually the seeds of that palm tree. Many types of coconuts can float, so that if they fall in the water, they can drift along until they reach dry ground, where they can begin to grow. And here's another kind of tree that I bet looks familiar.
We have one of these trees in our front yard.
Yep, these are called oak trees. In order to save energy during the winter, when it's colder and there's less sunlight, oak trees lose their leaves.
I know all about that. I'm in charge of raking up all the leaves in our front yard.
Then, when spring comes and there's more sunlight, they grow new leaves to catch that sunlight. Speaking of cold weather, the plants in this next exhibit grow in the tundra in Alaska.
Ooh, brr. It sure is cold in this exhibit.
That's because the tundra environment is among the Earth's coldest and harshest habitats. A couple of plants that can survive in this environment are bearberry and Arctic moss. The tundra has long, dark, cold winters, and the plants need to be able to survive when the ground is frozen. Most of these plants are very short, and so they grow close to the ground, where it's a little warmer than it is higher in the air. They also have dark leaves that help them capture more sunlight during the summer.
That's awesome! All these plants have special features that help them survive in their own habitats.
You're right, Lester. And when a plant has special parts that help it to survive in its habitat, those are called adaptations.
Okay, then I think I know the plant with just the right adaptations for my backyard.
Great, Lester. Which one do you think will survive in our habitat?
Since we have an oak tree in our front yard, let's plant one in the backyard too.
Great idea, Lester. I know someone who will be happy to help us dig the hole to plant this.
Hi! Click on the next activity.
Plant pictures with Lester. Help me edit my photos for Aunt Esther. Select the right habitat to complete the photo.
Play!
The saguaro cactus has thick skin to trap water inside because it rains very little where it lives. Choose the saguaro's habitat. You got it. Rocky desert. Coconuts are large seeds that float on the water. Choose the coconut palm tree's habitat. Awesome! Ocean beach. Oak trees lose their leaves in the fall to save energy during the cold winter. New leaves grow in the warm spring to gather sunlight. Choose the oak tree's habitat. Good job! Deciduous forest. The bearberry plant grows close to the ground to stay warm because it's cold all year where it lives. Choose the bearberry's habitat. Awesome job! Arctic tundra. Seagrass grows underwater, but not very deep because it needs sunlight to live. Choose the seagrass's habitat. Terrific! Coral reef. Big bluestem grass has very long roots that can get water from deep in the ground because there is not a lot of water where it lives. Choose the big bluestem grass's habitat. Nice try. I know you can do it. Nice job. Prairie. The Brazil nut tree can grow very tall to reach the sunlight above the many trees where it lives. Choose the Brazil nut tree's habitat. Wonderful! Tropical rainforest. The Venus flytrap eats insects. It grows in wet, warm places where the soil doesn't have many nutrients. Choose the Venus flytrap's habitat. Awesome job! Wetlands.
Hi, Lester. Did you have fun at the botanical gardens?
I sure did.
Do you have all of the plant photos?
I'm sending them right now, Aunt Hester.
Come on over so we can look at them together. Oh, Jester.
Wonderful!
Click on the next activity.
Professor Hester investigates plant life cycles. Hi, it's me, Professor Esther Hester. My dog Jester and I are visiting a farm today. Farmers plant all kinds of seeds. Apple seeds, sunflower seeds, avocado seeds, grape seeds, lima beans, and others too. Seeds come in all shapes and sizes. Not every seed has to be planted by someone. There are lots of other ways that seeds can travel and land in soil where they can grow. For example, Dandelion seeds are like the superheroes of the seed world because they can fly through the air. A dandelion seed can be carried by the wind for miles and miles. Other kinds of seeds can hitch a ride on an animal. This happens when a seed has a prickly covering called a burr that sticks to an animal's fur. And some seeds are eaten by animals and then dropped to the ground in their poop. If a seed lands in the right place, soil can cover it. Soil is just another word for dirt. If there's enough water in the soil, the seed will sprout roots that grow down into the soil. The roots collect water and other things the plant needs to grow, called nutrients. Then a stem will grow up through the soil. After the stem pokes out of the ground, leaves start to grow on it. When the plant grows big enough, it makes a flower with tiny particles of pollen inside. Pollen is carried from one flower to another by bees and other animals, or by the wind. When the pollen lands on the flower of the same kind of plant, that plant can make new seeds. Most of the time, the new seeds will be inside a fruit. If an animal eats the fruit, the seeds might travel, land in soil, and grow into new plants. This happens over and over again, so it's called a cycle. What we've been talking about is the life cycle of a seed plant. I'm sure glad this apple tree has a life cycle, or else I wouldn't have these apples to make a yummy pie with.
Click on the next activity.
Draw the missing pictures in a tomato plant's life cycle. Done.
Click on the next activity.
You know what we're doing today? We're getting dirty. That's right. We're not worried about our clothes or tracking dirt into the house because today, in the name of science, we're getting to know dirt like never before. For Jester, dirt is where he can dig to hide his favorite bone. For a plant, like this little tree, dirt is something it needs to live and grow. But to a scientist, dirt is something to investigate. And one way to investigate something is to ask an expert. Tell us, Mr. Worm, what is in dirt exactly? Okay, if this guy could really talk, he'd tell us that dirt, or as scientists call it, soil, is made up of a bunch of stuff. To know exactly what, we have to take a closer look. That's what this is for. It's my latest invention. Want to see it in action? I pour the dirt in here, and the built-in computer shows us what's in it. Here it comes. See those tiny rocks? Scientists have a word for very small pieces of rock like these. They're called minerals. So what else is in our dirt? See all those little bits of things in the soil? Let's have the computer show us where they came from. That's better. If you're a plant looking for a great place to grow, this is definitely the good stuff. Why? Because those tiny bits we saw before are actually pieces of leaves and stems. Dead bugs, animals that died long ago, and even their poop. Yep, that's right, Jester. I said poop. All of these things came from plants and animals, and all of them help make soil that's perfect for new plants to grow in. We call this stuff organic matter. And just like humans need certain kinds of food to grow big and strong, plants need to have organic matter in the soil to grow big and strong too. So tell me, are you ever going to look at dirt the same way again? Even Jester is impressed, and for good reason. Dirt is amazing, powerful stuff, right? But did you know that dirt is not all the same? Dirt in this desert is very different than dirt that's found in this forest. For one thing, deserts have much less organic matter in the dirt than forests do. Your timing is perfect, Jester. Best lab partner I ever had. For today's Professor Hester Tester, you need a garden trowel, a magnifying glass, a funnel, and a big plastic bottle with a cap that's more than half full of water. Like this one. Yes, Jester, you have my permission to dig. For this tester, make sure to have an adult with you. Then, go find a good place to dig up some dirt, like Jester is doing. Get down real close and use your magnifying glass to see what's in it. Then, use the shovel and the funnel to put about 1 cup of the soil into the bottle. Put the cap back on and shake it. Then watch. Do you see how some parts of the soil float on top? That's the organic matter. Down at the bottom are the tiny little rocks. Great idea, Jester. Let's study the soil in a different place to see if it looks the same. That's right, boy. You're a good scientist. And you're a good scientist, too. Enjoy your dig!
Click on the next activity.
Write a sentence about what you see. Done.
Click on the next activity.
Plants need dirt. Plants give us a lot of things we need to live, including oxygen to breathe, food to eat, and many products that we use and depend on. These products include wood, medicine, and other things that people use every day. That's why plants are an important resource. Most plants can't live without another resource, soil. Soil is another word for dirt. Think of all the plants that farmers grow on farms, such as fruits, vegetables, rice, wheat, and corn. Those are called crops, and almost all crops are grown in soil. But not all soil is the same, and different plants need different kinds of soil to grow. Soil can be different in many ways. For example, different kinds of soil hold different amounts of water. Some soil lets water go right through it, while other soil soaks up water like a sponge. Some plants, like wheat, grow best in soil that is mostly dry. Other plants, such as some kinds of rice, grow best in wet soil. Soil is made up of different things. Most soil has tiny pieces of rocks in it. Soil also contains pieces of dead plants and things that came from animals, like tiny pieces of animal poop. The part of soil that came from living things is organic matter. Some crops need to have a lot of organic matter in the soil in order to grow well. Color is one clue to how much organic matter is in soil. Dark brown soil usually has more organic matter in it than light brown soil. Another clue is how the soil feels. Soil with a lot of organic matter in it feels soft, fluffy, and damp. Soil that doesn't contain much organic matter feels gritty and hard when it's dry. You don't have to be a farmer or gardener to learn about soil. You can do experiments at home. Try planting the same kind of flower or vegetable seeds in different kinds of soil. See which soil works best for the plant you want to grow. The more you learn about soil, the better you'll be at growing things.
Click on the next activity.
Parts of plants. Parts of dead insects and other animals. Animal poop. What is in soil?
Click on the next activity.
Professor Hester's Soil Tester. Help me choose the right soil for my plants.
Play.
Drag the bucket to the soil tester to help me find out what kind of soil it is. What type of soil is this? The sand on a beach is made of lots of minerals with almost no organic matter. Wetland soils have mostly organic matter and very few minerals. Try again. Nice going. Wetland soils have mostly organic matter and very few minerals. Drag the bucket to the soil tester. What type of soil is this? The soils that forest plants grow in have about the same amounts of organic matter and minerals. Wetland soils have mostly organic matter and very few minerals. Wonderful. The soils that forest plants grow in have about the same amounts of organic matter and minerals. Drag the bucket to the soil tester. What type of soil is this? Desert soils have some organic matter, but are mostly minerals. The sand on a beach is made of lots of minerals with almost no organic matter. Try again. Wonderful. Desert soils have some organic matter, but are mostly minerals. Drag the bucket to the soil tester. What type of soil is this? The soils that plants grow in on the prairie have almost the same amounts of organic matter and minerals. Wetland soils have mostly organic matter and very few minerals. Terrific! The soils that plants grow in on the prairie have almost the same amounts of organic matter and minerals. Drag the bucket. What type of soil is this? The sand on a beach is made of lots of minerals with almost no organic matter. The soils that forest plants grow in have about the same amounts of organic matter and minerals. Fantastic! The sand on a beach is made of lots of minerals with almost no organic matter. Awesome! Very nice! Oh, Jester!
Click on the next